Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm going to go over the daily plan as well as the live market commentary I provided through StockTwits. Obviously, this is my StockTwits. I'll leave a link in the description. Um, and thank you, everyone here on the YouTube. We hit 125 subscribers. It does mean a lot. Thank you, guys. I'm still battling this stupid cold. Hopefully, I'm over the hump today or tomorrow. So I apologize if I have to pause to cough or sniffle. Alright, so going into the morning, we're looking at the TPO, right? I always go to the TPO first. And what did I say here? Should be a few clues we could take from our TPO. Yes, important for those who want to trade full time to understand these topics. The TPO is an amazing tool that we use to better visualize what is going on in the market, right? So we've been talking about over the past probably almost 2 weeks now, maybe a week and a half, whatever, this balance area that we've built in the market, right? This, you can see highlighted the top of it here. Sorry. We are now obviously trading out of it, but there's some things we could take from yesterday's low, the past few highs and lows, the shapes of the market profiles, where's value, are we trading inside or outside of value or inside or outside of the market's balance. There's a lot of things that we can take and help us to build our daily plans or maybe even bias going into the day. TPO is a great tool that we use in the room. Yep, alright. If TPO charts or footprint charts or more specifically right now, if these footprint charts that I post are all new to you, I have pinned on the home of the YouTube a simple intro video of how we could, or how you can read it. So let's continue on. Creating a daily plan, step 2. Looking at where buyers and sellers are located, looking at the transacted volume. Can you see where they are? Important information for a trader to know. So this is obviously yesterday's daily candle, and this was the overnight session into today, of course. And what do we see here? I think we all could see a P-shape distribution, a volume distribution. We spoke about this extensively on the YouTube. We see clear sellers on the highs marked by this, the selling imbalances, and clear buyers at the bottom of the body of the P. So we have active sellers here. What do you think is going to happen if we're trading above where sellers are active? They're going to stop out, right? And all those sellers will be fuel for an up move. And it's the same thing in reverse here. We have tons of buyers. You can see 207,000 contracts bought here yesterday. Heck of a lot of contracts. And so what's going to happen when we start to pull below all those buyers? Their stops are going to start to be triggered, and they will be fuel for a down move. So we have obviously this high volume area here. We have a good amount of volume here, but compared in context up here, not as much. And then we have super light volume down here, right? So these are all things that we take. Another high volume area. So I've spoken about before on the YouTube how bulls and bears, depending on where we're trading, will want to defend high volume areas, low volume areas, and using these ideas with our tools, it helps us build confluence and give us a directional bias on where to trade. Oh, now I'm zoomed in. Alright. Creating a daily plan, step 3. Where are market participants located in a smaller time frame? Take a look at this 4-hour chart. Can you see where buyers and sellers are positioning themselves? Can you see one of them trying to work a bid or offer? Lots of vital information could be taken here. We see everyone's hand now. So I've said this a trillion times. This is why I love using footprint charts. We could see the transacted volume. There is no more guessing or subjectivity that we have with candlestick charts, trying to see selling tails or buying tails. Because at the end of the day, market makers, banks, however you like to refer to them as, they are the ones who paint your charts. but they cannot hide transacted volume. So that's what we get to see here. This is that high volume area that we were talking about on the daily. We could see how much volume is done here. No, thin volume underneath. So it should be no surprise why we have so many buying imbalances here. Buyers do not want to give up this area. If they do, well, what's going to happen? We spoke about it. They pull underneath and they will be fuel for a down move. So into the overnight session, you could see clearly lost it. 4-hour close underneath, low volume test. In time, if you get to the point, you can become comfortable enough on the order flow and take these moves. We like, or personally speaking, I like to take the bigger inflection points in the market. They offer better risk and better reward, obviously, if we're taking a daily swing or a daily inflection point compared to maybe a 4-hour or a smaller time frame. Not to say you can't take it. Actually, today we'll go through the trades that I took were usually trades that I won't take, but I was playing for smaller moves because of this cold. I didn't really feel like being glued to the screens, but we'll get to that. So now that we accepted underneath this high volume area, what is going to happen? Well, we have this low volume area. So we're going to want to fill this, right? Why wouldn't we? More places price is happy, more places that price is happy to trade, the happier the market, right? So where's the next place after this volume is filled that we could expect the next war, battle, however you like to say? Right here. We have another high volume area. That's exactly where we traded to. So let's continue on. Take a look even at a clean candlestick chart. What can you take from it? Do you see stops, imbalances? We'll talk about this briefly. So I have this screenshot here. I'm going to mute my mic for a second. I feel a cough. Sorry. All right. This is a clean 30-minute candlestick chart. And we've spoken about, again, throughout the YouTube, if you have watched the videos. If you're going long, where are you usually putting your stop, right? If you're going long off of a double bottom, usually you'll put your stop below the bottom. You're going short off a double top, well above the highs, right? It's no different if you're playing a 1-minute chart, 5, 30, daily, weekly, yearly. We look at highs, we look at highs, lows, for where stops are going to be. So we could infer where stops are looking at candlestick charts, as well as imbalances. We do this a lot in the room to build confluence with our other tools. Onto the daily plan. Might have to adjust it before open, doesn't matter, I didn't end up having to do it. So going to be live on mic at 9 a.m. with the room. So yeah, every morning, if you didn't already know, I hop on mic for 10 minutes or so. So I will run through each of the levels, explain the reasoning behind it, on top of, I usually do kind of a written form, how I post on StockTwits, looking at the TPO, what can you take from this, blah, 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 blah. In the room, I am much more specific, and in a written form, will say, I'll circle, highlight, this is what we take and why, blah, 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 on the TPO, and then I'll flip to the daily footprint. And so we have the daily plan in a written form, and then at 9, I'll go on mic and explain each of the levels, the reasoning behind it, why this is a very cautious buy zone and not a normal buy zone. Why is this cautious and not very cautious? Those sort of things to help, obviously, people be able to do this for themselves. So yeah, this was the plan going into the day, and then I had one aside that, posted the plan at 8:31, 9 minutes later, so same thing, same time. I said yesterday's pivot we spoke about could provide a trade. Like yesterday, we need to monitor the order flow while trading there, hence why it's not marked. So yeah, if you watched yesterday's recap, I spoke about this pivot, saying how big it is going in, or getting an idea of the rest of the session. Bulls are going to want to hold it, bears are going to want to build acceptance below and go down, and that was, as of when I started recording, that was the low of day still. Uh, 8 minutes after open, transacted volume so far. Do we see where buyers and sellers, didn't mean to put stops, do we see where buyers and sellers are, and their stops will cover some. So the opposite of the P-shaped distribution, we're seeing a little bit of a B-shaped distribution. It's not as clean as that P was, but we do see buyers, we see sellers. Here is the B shape, but we see sellers over here above. They're trying to put a lid, they're trying to move this offer down to get down to this higher volume area, and it should be no surprise as to why we're seeing some temporary exhaustion here on the daily. Bulls are trying their hand to hold this, but we have to look at the context of the amount of contracts we have up here. They have a lot of work to do, so they're doing a good job as of right now, but they have more work to do. Continuing on, CO buyers are attempting here, so those sellers got ran over, and we came into our first area that we were looking for a potential long. So we're looking at a 4-hour chart. This 4-hour candle, I assume, just opened, at 10 a.m. and we see a nice buying imbalance, some temporary exhaustion. You see obviously 18,000, 17,000 contracts being done compared to 200, 500. A big difference, but I believe the daily wasn't looking right so far, so we need the confluence between multiple time frames, just like if you're a normal chart trader trading off candlestick charts. You're not taking a swing position because something's overextended on the 1 minute. You need all your time frames to align, and that's why the footprint helps us to avoid unnecessary cuts. So I did scalp along here. Here's the 2 trades I took. Again, I didn't feel like being glued to the trade. I usually take my partials out at 10 points or at my first partial, but I've been doing 5 points just to get the day over and be done quicker. I flipped after trading. I then worked on some things for the room. We have a few more webinars coming after the introductory series, but and these are trades that I do not recommend new people to order flow to take. You have to be very, very comfortable in the order flow. Not to say there won't be a time after putting in the work that you can do this, but it is difficult. So quick short, I fat fingered my 50% partial when setting for it over here. I meant to go all out, the full position here, but I then obviously did the other 50%, and then a quick long off that buy zone on the tape. Again, 2/3 off this time since I messed up over here. So 2/3 off here, and then the rest was stopped at break even. Just 2 simple, quick scalps. Nothing to shake your butt about, I guess. Look at low a day, right at pivot. Yep. Alright, so this is what I was talking about. This huge pivot. We are looking at a 4-hour chart again. I think I have this chart. Yeah. Alright. Sorry, I'm trying not to make this video too long. We now broke down from this high volume area. We have this high volume area we know wants to be held. And obviously it is. As we can see, we're trading up here, and let me clean this up. I have highlighted, look at this B-shaped distribution, and look at the amount of contracts done right here. So many. And we're trading up here. That's a lot of fuel for an up move. No wonder we're trading about 35 points, 40 points up from over here. So the footprint helps us see this in real time, and obviously this was a level that we were looking at coming into open. I believe I said, just trying to find it. Oh, never mind, I'm not going to show it because it's in the room, but I was saying in the room because we were looking, we saw that so much volume is being done here, it's, a position is building here, and someone asked, do you think maybe we won't get this final flush and we will just go up from here? And obviously I can't say anything for certain, but I said it could, and if that's the case, then I'm fine with missing it, but I don't see why we wouldn't close the opening 30 candle, and then obviously close the open 30, it closes this 4-hour. If we close right here, that's perfect for just one more pop, and look at all the concentrated volume here that was done. Pop all their stops, get some exhaustion right to our pivot, and go. And that's what happened. So I hope you guys all had a great day today. I believe that's it for me. Someone asked a question, please explain. Yep. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. My email is in the description. My website's in the description. Cheers. See you tomorrow.